All right, folks, today it's all about boxing. Just hang with me for a moment. The champ is here. The champ is here. Fighting out of Atlas Cops and Kids Club from East Flatbush, Brooklyn is Earl Newman.
Hey,
We're at the Barclays Center next week. It's Earl. Earl is defending his championship. Welcome, Earl,
How you doing?
to BK Live. How you feel?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Man, it took a long way to get here. How did you start boxing? When did you start boxing?
I started boxing after I graduated high school back in '09. I always had an infatuation with it, but my parents were more about education, so I kind of had to sneak my way in and start training. But from then on, I just kind of flew with it, you know.
Who were some of the boxers that influenced you over the years?
Over the years, the first person that I gravitated towards was Roy Jones Jr., you know, and then from then on, it was Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd, and even James Toney. You know, I like to watch old school fighters and even the modern day fighters. So,
what is your opinion about Roy Jones Jr.? What did you like about Roy?
Well, with Roy, is he was a showman and he just did things his own way. You know, I guess I'm kind of hard-headed at times, you know, but with Roy, he just did things his own way in a spectacular fashion, and it's the only time you've ever seen it done. So it's things that stuck in your mind. So he just always wowed me every time I seen him fight.
Let's go over this fight, particular last year, right? This before last year, you were going for the championship.
Yeah.
How does it feel to go from hunting for the title and now being the hunted?
Well, hunting for the title, you know, I had to work my way up and. You know, have people see me, and from then when I won it, it's everybody knew me. But then now it's I even had people hit me up on my Facebook account yo, you know, you're next. I'm gonna take you down. So I'm
So people talk trash.
Yeah,
you know, in the old days they did it face to face, but now
it's through social media.
Okay, all right.
You know, they act tough behind the camera, but you know.
Tell us about this particular fight too. This was last year.
That was last year in the quarterfinals. I had fought this really tough guy. His name Mark Sinatra.
You can buy it over here also.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, so his name is Mark Sinatra, and he's a real tough guy. But you know, I outboxed him, and I got Boxer of the Night for that. You know.
Your particular style of boxing. What would you say? You're a boxer. You're more of a slugger or a boxer?
Well, with me, I can adjust to any style. So, but my basis will be to be a boxer. That's what I am. That's why I got from Floyd and Roy Jones and Sugar Ray Leonard. I like to box. But if need be, I can slug it out or be a boxer puncher, be aggressive. It just depends on the flow of the fight.
Right. What about this particular fight? Also, this was the championship last year?
That was in the championship in the Barclays Center last year. I fought this guy named Ngula Romaneric, if I'm correct. Okay. He was from Africa. He was really strong. And he just came on the scene out of nowhere, so I didn't know what to expect from him, but I just stuck to my game plan and, you know, I just outboxed him.
Going into each fight, how do you prepare for each fighter? Is it a short notice? Is it some fighters drop out of bouts too sometimes, right in the Golden Gloves? So how do you prepare for each fighter?
Well, you know, basically amateurs, I would say, sometimes it's harder than professionals because you never know who you're gonna fight at any given point in time at night. So you just gotta be ready for for whatever. And with amateurs, you gotta do it at a fast pace because you have 3 rounds. You know, in a professional fight, you have time to sit it out, study him, but you just gotta go all out.
Amateurs, 3 rounds, 3 minutes around?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
All right. Now, you're fighting next Thursday, right?
Next Thursday, I'll be the
Golden Gloves Barclays Center Championship?
I'll be the main event. I'll be the final bout.
How did it feel fighting in Barclays Center last year for the championship, leading up to it, knowing that you were making history as being the first group of fighters to fight in Barclays Center?
Well, truthfully speaking, I just ignored that fact because I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself, you know. I just decided to focus on the task at hand, and then afterwards, I kind of basked in it. I was just like, wow, I really made it here in the Barclays Center, in my hometown.
Now, after winning the Daily News Golden Gloves Championship last year, you also fought at the national level. Let's go over that. That was in Vegas. Let's go over some of those fights you had to fight also that particular week. What was that, last May? Or?
Last year, April.
Last April, okay.
Yeah. Since I had won the New York City Golden Gloves, each state has their own segment of the Golden Gloves. So I represented New York City in the national level. So, you know, basically in nationals, you have to fight every day of the week from Monday through Saturday. You know, and it's it was a long, grueling week fighting champions from every state, you know. And upon that, I was the last standing New York City fighter to win for New York City and bring back home the title. And I
See that?
actually won the National Golden Gloves ring.
Could you, man, we can't see that, man. Could you show it over there real quick? Just put it up
Yeah.
real quick. I don't know if they can zoom in
It
on that.
has my name inscribed on the side and the year, and you know, there's the ruby diamonds in
Hold
it.
it up.
So
All right. Now, you also fought at the international level too.
I also fought internationally. I represent, after winning the National Golden Gloves, I had represented America in a World Golden Glove tournament, fighting Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Ireland.
And that was in Maryland, right?
That was in Maryland. They had flown them.
Was
to
that
this
last
state.
year?
Last year also,
Right,
yeah.
you was busy fighter.
Yeah, man. So I had represented America, and I, along with other fighters, had won, at least about 3 others, I believe, had won that tournament.
Now, you're fighting next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
You're fighting the last fight.
Yeah, the last
How
fight.
does that feel, man, knowing that you got to wait? Because we were talking to Jordan Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
Who, unfortunately, he lost last year, but he
Right.
said he fought the last fight. He said he's not doing that this year.
You know, well, in nationals, you know, I'm used to it because they always put the big boys last, and that's like about 25 sometimes. I don't fight till midnight sometimes out there. So I'll be like probably about 11, I believe. So it's not that bad, but you know, I just gotta, just stay chill and just wait my turn.
Who are you fighting?
I'm fighting a guy named Ronell McFadden from Yonkers, and he's a really strong fighter. He's really strong, and I know he's gonna come to bring it to take the title from me. So I just gotta, show
And
out.
after this pro, will you go pro or not? Or
I'm flirting with the idea of pro or staying for the Olympics, you know, but my mind's leaning towards going on the professional ranks
Cool.
after this.
Thanks for coming in. I want to have you back also.
Oh, for sure,
After
man.
you win the title. All right,
Definitely.
good. All right. Boxing fans would certainly argue there's poetry in the ring. But up next, we hear from some professional poets as they join Manolia Charlatan for her first look at the Caribbean community in Brooklyn. Here, for example, in both Creole and English, is Promised Land, performed by Michelle Voltaire Marcelin.